touch on oil and just how you plan on expanding and exporting, and how do you export oil outside of North America? It's tough to build new pipelines, so I think you did talk about the expansion of oil at your investor day. I guess having pipes in the ground currently makes your company, in our opinion, more valuable because they're very hard to get built these days. So maybe just expand on your liquid side of your business.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. Building a new greenfield oil pipeline is not going to happen in North America, with the exception of perhaps Texas and Oklahoma. So our system, we really have two systems, oil pipeline system. Our Canadian Mainline, which delivers about 3 million barrels a day of crude oil into the U.S. That goes into first the Chicago market, then it moves its way south from Chicago to Cushing, to Houston, and then we have access to 4 or 5 million barrels a day of refining capacity on the U.S. Gulf Coast. We also operate the largest system in the Permian Basin. We now move 2 million barrels a day of Permian crude to Corpus Christi and Houston. And pretty much every light barrel coming out of the Permian these days ends up being exported because the U.S. has an abundance of light crude. We, in 2021, bought the Ingleside terminal in Corpus Christi. It's the only VLCC-capable deepwater dock in the United States. It's the cheapest export facility for our customers. And today we're exporting over 1.2 million barrels a day of U.S. crude, which represents about 25% of total U.S. exports out of that facility. That facility has the ability to grow. We have permits to grow it to at least 2 million barrels a day of export capacity. And as production ramps up in the Permian, we'll see more capital being invested to get more pipelines to Corpus Christi, get more storage facilities on the dock, which will allow us then to export more crude out of the U.S. So if you think about it, North America is a major energy exporter now. That's really changed over the last 10 years, where we're exporting significant amounts of natural gas and crude oil. And our whole business strategy over the last 5 years or so is developing those export conduits. So off the Gulf Coast, we're exporting 20%. We're providing service to export 20% of the natural gas, and now 25% of the oil. So we think those are regions where you can still build infrastructure in a reasonable time frame, and we can get that energy to global markets.